Good morning, beautiful people. It's a yet another beautiful Sunday morning. I know Sundays mean a lot of sleep, leisure, and social engagements. But by turning up here, you turn this day into the day of self investment, of self growth. After all, we all can always go from a happy to a happier state. So I want to congratulate you for joining us today. If you find this session useful, do subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let us know what you're thinking in the comment section. Don't forget to share the joyful bites shared by Dr. Arun today with your friends and family. All of this really gives us the motivation to come up with more life changing content for you. This is a live session, so I would love to ask your questions to Dr. Arun. I keep a notepad with me during these interactions with Dr. Arun so that I can quickly jot down the joy mantras shared by him. And then later I reflect on my notes whenever I need wisdom or any kind of refueling. This has really worked for me, and I recommend you to do the same. Friends, the journey of self growth becomes so much easier when you have someone to mentor you all along, someone who can guide you through his own life experiences and lift all that unnecessary burden off your shoulders. And who better than Dr. Arun Bhardwaj to mentor us? Having spent more than 25 years engineering winning technology solutions for some of the biggest corporates in the world, he's someone who has been there and done that. He has been once where most of us have been at some point of our lives. Today, he is here amongst us yet again to remind ourselves of who we are and what we are capable of with a little push. Today, Dr. Arun will be telling us all about his signature Be a Champ program. For all your information, earlier this program was exclusively used to skyrocket the peak performance of large corporates. Fortunately, on high demand, Dr. Arun is bringing this program to your very homes. Today, by the end of this session, you will know all about the Be a Champ program in detail. Friends, would you like to experience for yourself how transformation looks like, what it feels like? Well, if yes, I'm so excited to inform you that Dr. Arun will be personally mentoring all those registered at the Be a Champ workshop at a very affordable price. The workshop will have 5 sessions of 60 minutes each plus Q&A. This workshop starts from 14th June, Monday. There are both weekday and weekend options available, so you can choose according to your convenience. In some time, Dr. Arun will be himself sharing further details with you. So stay tuned for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I now welcome the mentor who mesmerizes and creates positive transformations in people. Please welcome Doctor of Happiness, Dr. Arun Bhardwaj.
Namaskar. Hello, good morning, Anna. Namaskar to everyone. Thanks for that wonderful beginning and introduction. It's a pleasure to be with you and rest of our friends once again.
Dr. Arun Bhardwaj, thank you for joining us today. I want to start off by requesting you to please prescribe us with a happiness pill during these very strenuous times. Some of us have lost our jobs, some of us are undergoing financial losses, and some of us have succumbed to this life threatening virus. How do we move on from here and get back in the game called life?
Thanks for that question. This is a very pertinent question for today's time. What do we do? As human beings, what do we do? And I want to give you a happiness pill, the happiness pill of the day. And let me put it on the screen also. Very simple pill. The pill for today is CIA. And what I want to do, I want to tell you 3 stories to put this pill in perspective. Because those 3 stories, if reflected upon, can give us wisdom to sail through not only these troubled times, but any troubled time in our life. And as I keep saying, happiness for me is not absence of problems. Happiness is a mindset. It is our approach to life. It is our way of living. It is our capability to do our best in the worst of circumstances. So the happiness pill of the day is CIA, which stands for control, influence, accept. We should do with our full force, strength, whatever is within our control. We should do with our best of capabilities what we can influence in our life, and what we cannot control and influence, we should accept that and move on from there on. Now, you might have heard of all this before, so let me put it in practical perspective. And when I'm telling this to you, it is based on whatever experiences of life I have had. So let me start with, what do I mean by control? My first story of the day. There was once king of rain, Indra. He became very angry because certain village people were not praying for him. He wanted to teach them a lesson. So what he did, he decided there'll be no rains for 12 years in that region, in that village. And there was a Akashvani, which is basically announcements in the sky, where the heavens speaks. And it said that for next 20 years, there'll be no rains. Everybody started crying. Everybody was facing the challenge in their life. They were thinking now will be ruined. But there was one farmer who next day morning, like every other day, prepared for the field, along with the plow, asked his son to join him, told his family that they should come bring lunch as they always brought. And he went to his fields. And when the king of rain saw that nothing perturbed this man, how come this man, has he not heard what is going to happen? And then soon, he started thinking, what can I do? King of rain went in the form of a saint, old saint, goes to that farmer and says, have you not heard? King of rain has decided that there'll be no rain for next 12 years. And the man smiles and says, yes, I heard that. I heard there was a sound in the sky, Akashvani. But whether rain happens or not happens, that is not in my control. What is in my control, that I come, I do my duties, I teach my son how to plow the fields, I sow these seeds and try nurturing them. So if even there is no rain for 12 years, when the rains do happen, I am in the best state of preparation to harvest the best crop possible. Ananya, that's C. Do what is in your control. Many times we have seen people, when challenges happen, we start worrying about the doomsday scenario. We start thinking of that verse is about to come to me. Now, if it comes, it is beyond your control. But what is in your control? That you maintain happiness mindset. I always believe that heaven and hell, they are on earth and we create them. We create heaven on earth by having happiness mindset, expecting best outcome of our efforts and doing efforts that are within our control. And we create hell in our life by expecting worst outcomes of all our efforts. Many times we are putting our efforts, but saying, "Arey yaar, pata nahi kaam karega ke nahi karega. I don't know if we suffer. I will suffer. I don't know. There's this corona, there's this and there's that." See, if that has to happen, it will happen. But most of the time, we are stressed in our life, worrying about things that would never happen in our life. That is about control. C. The second part of happiness pill is I. What is in our influence, we should do it. Let me tell you the second story about influence. A king had his favorite elephant. This elephant was the one on which this king had won many, many wars. So this elephant was very dear to him. And when this elephant became old, king said, this elephant has served the country. We should take good care of him, feed him the best food possible, keep him close to my eyes so I can see him in the morning and evening. One day when this elephant went for bathing, it got stuck in the mud. And as much as people tried, the elephant was not coming out. It was sinking further. Now people were worried that this is king's favorite elephant. If something happens to it, what will we do? So they informed the king, and king said, no, at any cost we have to bring this elephant out. They were trying to pull with ropes, nothing was happening. And then king asked his wise men, his prime minister, what should we do? And the wise men said, you should start playing the war drums next to him. He says, what will it do? He's dying. And in that, this elephant is going to get further stressed. He said, no, no, just try it out. So the king orders and the war drums are played. In India, we call them nagaras and narsingas. And magic happened. The moment the whole environment was reverberating with those war bands, the elephant started pulling itself out of that mud. And soon it was on the bank of the river, safe and sound. King was surprised, asked that prime minister, what happened here? And he says, it is not that this elephant did not have strength to come out, but he did not have willingness to use that strength. And that prime minister very beautifully did what was within his influence. He did not have control over pulling the elephant out, but he influenced behavior of that elephant by playing those war drums. And same is situation with us also. What we are seeing on social media, what we are seeing on television, etc., it can be very worrying to us. But on the other side, if we start utilizing those war drums as something which is encouraging us, we can start taking our inner strengths out, have a very clear purpose for the day and for the week and for our life. Then I think we have that necessary strength. We just need to influence it with happiness mindset, believing that our efforts will result in the best results. Now, what is A then? Things that are beyond our control and influence, like all these videos that you are seeing on social media, WhatsApp, etc., etc. Can you do something about them? No. But are you watching them? Yes. Are they causing deterioration of mental health? Answer is yes. So what do we do? Here's the third story. Let's change the mood to a little lighter note now. Once a person was traveling to this beautiful location, which was a giant cliff. And the view from that cliff was mesmerizing. Suddenly, this person has a doubt and he asked the guide, wow, this cliff is beautiful. But what if I'm looking downwards, what if my foot slips and I fall down? And the guide, probably an enlightened soul, smiles and says, if you do fall down, please do look towards the right, because the waterfall that you will see while falling down is amazing. If you're fallen down and you can't do anything, just accept what is there and enjoy the best out of it. So I hope all of us will reflect on these stories and think about CIA. Control what you can. Wearing mask, washing our hands, all this was within our control. Social distancing. So what is in our control, let's do it. How others behave? By maintaining social distance, you are influence others' behaviors also. So they might not be wearing masks, they might not be taking care of things that you are taking care of, but by maintaining social distance, you are still influencing positive outcomes in your life. And if something bad does happen, trust that 99% people are feeling okay, they can get cured very soon. We will be one of them. If that fateful thing does happen, then we accept it. So that was an example of current context. So wherever you are, whoever you are, let's just start looking at what we have and what to do, how to do something with what we have. Because when we will focus on what we have, that pain of my business is not good, my social life is not good, all that would go away. Because when we see what we have and do something with what we have, we experience joy. That is happiness mindset. When we look at what we do not have and what I cannot do, what I do not have, that's unhappy mindset. That will only create hell on earth. So I hope you will choose happiness mindset and you will choose to create heaven on earth. Back to you, Arun.
Thank you, Dr. Arun. So today's happiness pill, everybody, is the CIA formula. Remember, control, influence, and acceptance. So There are so many outward circumstances that we can sometimes control or influence, but if we can't, then let's start accepting them and move forward. And focusing on what we have is always a way to create joy in our life. So that's the happiness pill for you today. Dr. Arun, you can put yourself on full screen while you answer the next question. Um, how can we live up to our potential even in these challenging times? You have been helping corporates with developing peak performance mindsets. What are the secret magical ingredients?
Okay. And this is where this whole idea of uh, be a champ got seeded from. Let's think of what is a champion. Who is a champion? Who becomes a champion? Champion is someone who can do best, can maintain his or her cool frame of mind in the most exciting situations of life. Be a champ stands for be a creative, happy, and mindful peak performer. A champion's mindset is somebody who can consistently perform at his or her best capability, irrespective of the circumstances. And that last part is very important. And is that not what we need, irrespective of what role we are playing? I can be a corporate citizen, I can be just I can be an entrepreneur, I can be a scientist, teacher, a domestic engineer, I can be anyone. But having that mindset, capability to do our best in the worst of circumstances, irrespective of the circumstances, that's what something we need. So Be a Champ program is designed very creatively to address and build this peak performance mindset in all of us. Creative, happy, and mindful. See, I told you this CIA happiness pill. Most of you might know that you have to do what is in your control, influence what you can, and accept what you cannot. But it is not purposefully thought of every day. We go back to our instinctive brain. We are not mindful of what we are doing. And I think one of the things that we need to learn, and this was the technology that made India spiritual guru in the world in the ancient times. It was our power to meditate mindfully and introspect and utilize our wisdom in our practical life, which we are not able to. We might have wisdom, but at the right time when we have to utilize it, we fail to utilize that wisdom. And that's the change we have to bring in ourselves. And for that, being mindful is very important. So one of the things that will be shared in this program that we'll be conducting next week is what is the underlying mystery of mindfulness. And then not only you will learn the techniques of how mindfulness can be achieved, but you will experience in those sessions experience of mindfulness. Because when we are mindful, we will be more capable of utilizing all this wisdom that is within ourselves. Otherwise, what happens? Everybody knows that when you are stressed, you should count till 10. Everybody knows that we have to do deep breathing. But when when that moment comes, instead of counting and all this, we forget all that and we get angry or we react. So we will learn how to put brake on those emotions or emotional outbursts. When we are mindful, the chances that we will nurture happiness mindset and respond to life's worst situation in the best possible way, they are very high. And if we are happy, as I always say, when we are happy, we are at our best. We become creative. Because when we are happy, when we are in our positive mind, you can just reflect on this thought. We are more divergent in our thinking. More creative ideas come to us. So happiness and creativity, they are linked. Happiness brings success a lot more than success brings happiness. I read this one quote recently, which says that खुशी के लिए काम करोगे तो खुशी नहीं मिलेगी, खुशी से काम करोगे तो खुशी भी मिलेगी और सक्सेस भी मिलेगी. If you work for happiness, you might not even get happiness. But if you are working with happiness, in joy, then you will achieve happiness as well as success. So I think that's that contained program, which is Be a Champ. How do you become creative, happy, and mindful peak performer. Because if you are mindful, if you have happiness mindset, and if you're creative, then you are going to perform at your peak. And when you perform at your peak, that's when we realize our purpose of being a human being, doing our best and expressing our creative potential in the world. Back to you, Anand.
So, everybody, if you want to become a creative, happy, and mindful peak performer, the next few minutes are very important. So, stay with us. Dr. Arun, who all can join this Be a Champ workshop?
Actually, everybody should, because one of the challenges we have uh, in our education system, we have all learned things in our curriculum, things are taught to us which are oriented towards how to make a living. But there is no curriculum that teaches us how to live well, how to live joyfully, how to live happily. And Be a Champ program is a primer. It is the introductory opening of windows into happiness mindset world. So I think everybody should join, because who doesn't want to be peak performer? People keep asking, what is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of life? That's the greatest mystery. So instead of spending whole life trying to figure out purpose of life, why not use this life to become purposeful? Identify what you're good at and then execute whatever is good in you, bring it to life, and that might become your purpose. So I would request everybody should take a look at this program and join, because what we are going to talk about is how human mind works, what is our inner operating system like, how does it interpret different things that are happening around us, and how those interpretations create happiness and sorrows. Obviously, then I'm going to teach you very practical tools, specific ideas that you can utilize in your day-to-day life to see how we can manufacture movement of joys and happiness. Because when we create moments of joy, life is nothing but collection of these moments. And as we create more moments of these joys, more moment of these happiness, we can transform our life to be a happy life.
Absolutely, Dr. Arun. Dr. Arun, if someone like me joins the CHAMP program, Be a Champ workshop, what can I expect to learn from the program, and to what extent I will be able to apply those learnings in my daily life?
See, my pursuit always is, my intent always of bringing such programs is that all these programs should not be best practices, because you can learn those best practices from YouTube and so many other channels, right? You can search on Google and you can find all these best practices. My intent is that I'm sharing with you what I have experienced in my life, what I've experienced uh, seeing my mentors do, or something that I've already shared with people and they have reported back to me that yes, these strategies, these methods, these simple but very potent, very effective exercises have transformed their lives. So what I'm going to share with you is not best practices. What I'm going to share with you would be experiential wisdom. So as I mentioned to you, Engineering Happiness is a program which helps you nurture 8 dimensions of life so we can experience that feeling, what we call as happiness, more frequently, more often. And Be a Champ program is a very focused part of this Engineering Happiness program that will help you create a blueprint for a happier life. And I'm going to share with you methodologies, principles, interactive activities, etc., etc. So it's not just another philosophy session. It is a session in which, during the session, you are going to experience the transformation in you.
Right, Dr. Arun. Dr. Arun, most of our interactions have become online, and so have our learnings. At the back of our minds, we are always unsure about the worth of online programs. So, how can the online presenter and the online viewer enhance their quality of interaction?
I think this is a question that is bugging many now because I think we have had a overload of online information, and many of the friends from corporates who are listening right now must also be wondering about this question. I will segment this question into two parts. If you are on the listening side, how can you best utilize online platforms or any learning platforms? And if you're a presenter, then what you should be doing. If you're the listener, how you can get maximum out of such online programs is, I'm going to again share a happiness spell with you, or easy to remember key with you, and that key is ACID. You have to do ACID test. Are you a good learner? And ACID stands for attentive listening. So when you're listening, if the topic is of your interest, listen to it. Not to criticize the topic, but just listen to the person who is speaking or what he or she is speaking or sharing with you. Attentive listening. C stands for curious questioning. When you get an opportunity, if it is an interactive program, ask question so you can understand and put these thoughts, whatever the speaker is presenting, in your own life's experiences. You can connect with your life. I stands for introspection. Once you have understood what the speaker is communicating, because you are attentively listening and asking curious questions. Many people ask questions just to prove that they know better than the speaker. That's not curious questioning. I'm talking about curious questioning. I stands for introspection. Then, if I'm sharing something with you, for example, I shared those stories might mean nothing until you think about those stories in your own life, in your own life's context. And that introspection is very important. And finally, D is about demonstrating your wisdom. It doesn't help if you know. Ideas don't work until you do the work. So whatever we are sharing today also, or what I'll be sharing in the workshop also, intent would be that we will instill some practices so you are able to utilize what you have learned. So this is about learning side, how we can maximize learning in any session, especially in online education or online learning. Now for the presenters, I've created a paradigm which was influenced by or inspired by Gurukul system of education. I call it wisdom of pearls. And wisdom of pearls stands for participative, experiential, associative, and reflective learning strategies. That means the session that you will experience, BHM session, you will experience because you will participate in it. There'll be some experiential learning, emotions would be invoked, and when emotions are invoked, learning becomes permanent. Associative learning means you will hear a lot of stories so you can connect with these complex contexts or concepts easily in your own life. And R stands for reflective learning. Reflective learning is when we take something and we are just reflecting it in our own life and associating our new learning with our life's context. So if the listeners become ACID enabled, ACID test enabled, and the speakers or presenters, they are utilizing wisdom of pearls, I think we can create very effective sessions, and you will see a demonstration of that when you participate in Engineering Happiness BHM program.
Thank you, Dr. Arun. So everybody listening this right now, you might have got this idea that experiencing a workshop with Dr. Arun is not going to be just like any other workshop. It's going to be full of interaction and full of such wonderful ingredients like acid. Thank you, Dr. Arun, for telling us all about the Be a Champ program. After listening to you, I, for one, am super charged to register for this workshop. What was available to corporates at a very expensive price, you are now making this available to everybody at a very affordable price. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to intellectually pamper ourselves for a change.
Thanks.
So everybody, what are you waiting for? You too grab your spot ASAP as the seats are going to be very limited. So pick up your phones and WhatsApp at 98168 to reserve your spot. Dr. Arun will be sharing further details of the workshop with you now.
So this workshop, whenever I was conducting these corporate workshops, this is a great moment today. It's a very proud moment for personally for me, because I always wanted to share this program with everybody, create a general public program. So far, these programs were only done for corporates. And many times my friends used to say, do you do any public programs also? I would like to bring my spouse or children also to participate in these sessions. Even children can participate in this workshop. So we are starting two sessions. One of the sessions will be a weekday session. Another one will be a weekend session. So weekday sessions, they are from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. starting on, you can see the dates, 14th to June 14th to June 18th. That will be from Monday to Friday. So 5 sessions of 60 to 90 minutes. So we'll have 60 minutes of content, and then we'll have Q&A so that we can do an interactive program. These will be interactive programs. And then we will have the weekend sessions, which are on Saturday and Sunday, which is on June 19th and June 20th. So these are the two options available. Those will be same content, and based on which time slot is more convenient for you, you can choose those time slots. Very experiential programs, very participative programs. We will do a lot of conversations, a lot of activities, a lot of interactions. And I hope you will take this opportunity to join me and experience for yourself what Be a Champ workshop is. By the way, this workshop was conducted for Sports Authority of India. I work with the Pro Kabaddi. I work with Indian hockey team and many others, including Indian Army. So I've conducted these programs for them as well, or part of these programs. Obviously, I've done these programs for many corporates. So now it is for you to experience, and I hope you will join. You can look at more information on this program or what the flow of this program is going to be at arunb.com/champ. So that is arunb.com/champ. You will find more information. You can also WhatsApp to us on the number that's given here, 981681780, and we will be happy to share more information with you. You can do online registration, or you can send a registration request to this WhatsApp number. The link for the program would be shared with you, and I hope you all will be joining us. Back to you, Aranya.
Thank you, Dr. Arun, for sharing the workshop details with us. So, everybody, you don't get to learn from a world class mentor every day at this affordable price. So, make the most of this opportunity to catapult your life to a next new exciting level.
Uh,
Dear
by,
all,
by the way, you have mentioned affordable price. So let's just solve that mystery also. The sessions, 10 sessions, these are 5 sessions of 1 hour to 1.5 hours each. It is capped at 1,000 rupees for the whole 5-day program or 5-hour program, 1,000 rupees. If you are running a charitable institution, or if you are supporting any cause where it is a social cause and you are dealing with people who are less privileged, please approach us. This program we will offer to you for no cost. So if you are running a NGO, you are running a charitable institution for underprivileged children, or youth or women or whatever you are, if it is charitable, we will offer this program to you for free. And if you for some reason cannot afford, please approach us. Money should not become a boundary for you or binding obstruction for you to participate in this program. But if you can afford it, it's just 1,000 rupees, and that money will be utilized to spread happiness in the world. So I hope you'll join us.
dear all, I hope you enjoyed this Q&A session with Dr. Arun. Thank you everyone for staying with us till the very end. We have lots more lined up for you. If you found our session useful, please give us a thumbs up, and please share this video with as many friends and family members as possible. If you haven't, go check out Dr. Arun's website, www.arunb.com. You can follow Dr. Arun on LinkedIn and Instagram as well. You can also buy Dr. Arun's Book of Reflections. All links are attached in the description box. And we shall see you again very soon. Have a very joyful day.
Ananya, I just wanted to see if anybody who is right now live with us, so that there's a purpose fulfilled for the live program. If anyone has any question, comment, suggestion, please type it in, because we'll be able to see on our screen. Do you have, if there's any question, comment, or suggestion, please type it in. So please do join us. Subscribe to the channel, because every alternate Sunday we will have these Q&A sessions, and in between Sundays we will be hosting people who have done special, who achieved something special, who have contributed to happiness in the world. We'll be hosting chat sessions with such people. And if you are one of them, or you know somebody, please connect them with us. We would love to host them in this channel, engineering happiness in the world. Since we don't see any question, Ananya, thanks for hosting this session today, and thanks for those amazing, brilliant questions. They help me, they provoke me to dive into my wisdom pool and share whatever I thought are the most appropriate happiness pills for the questions that you had for today. So thanks for hosting this session.
Thank you, Dr. Arun, for being with us. It was a pleasure to have you today with us. Thank you.
Namaste.